Good evening, everyone. How is everyone today? Oh my gosh, I'm a little rough today. Did you guys experience the rain as it was coming down today? It was very torrential. This is after being in the rain. Not that I care, or not that it even usually looks better any other day. Whatever. All right. Hi, guys. What's going on? Who's joining us today? Um, Yeah, so came up to my laptop to sit down to do this, and I realized that last week I had taught the tarot basics at the office. And when I did that, I took in my tarot cards to use during that class and I left them there. So when I came up to do this today, which I do at home, which Christina, hi Christina, it's why when you said, your office is looking good, it didn't like dawn on me that this is my office. It is my office. It's just I have too many offices to keep track of. And there's still so much to do. I mean, there's stacks of books to put up still. Well, whatever. Anyway, so I sat down tonight to do this and I realized I did not bring home my tarot cards. And as many tarot cards as I have at the office, I don't have that many here. So I've been scrounging around looking for cards to use for tonight's event. And I did find a few. It's going to be a little interesting tonight. I hope you all have drinks. Drink time. Yay. Christina's here. Hi, Christina. Thank you for joining us. So last week, it was just me and Christina. And then I discovered, like at 6:30, I started getting comments that everyone thought it was supposed to be at 6:30. And I'd gotten off by 6:30 because it was just me and Christina. So we'll see what happens tonight. Like I said, it's already off. But we are along for the ride. All right, what's going on in news? The store we have, or the group events what do we have coming up? I don't know if we have anything going on this weekend. It seems like it was busy. And then the second week of June hit. Everyone leaves town because school is out and summer is here. And it's time to, enjoy the summer and the beautiful weather, although today's the exception. Although I do enjoy a good thunderstorm. Oh, no, we do have Mariella is doing a group master alignment session, Stepping into Your Power. And that's on Sunday at 1 p.m. And yeah. All right. And then the next thing isn't until next Tuesday for the live tarot share. Well, good. It's a party. Let's see. What can we do? Okay, so the cards that I have today, I have this really interesting deck. I can't really call it a tarot deck because it's not set up in the traditional manner. But there are a lot of cards. Boy, I don't know if there might be more than a usual tarot deck. And this is a woman out of England who she published this deck herself, and it doesn't even come in a box. Like, it's in a handmade bag. This is like a handmade felt bag. And she put little flowers on. How cute is that? And they're all dragons, though, because, I love dragons, which is why I bought this really custom deck. Well, this is one that's hard to see a dragon. Somewhere in there must be a dragon. This is the Dragon Queen, it says. You can see her going down. Her head's down at the bottom. And you can see the tail up at the top. It says, I am Ishka. She's pretty. She's got her head at her head's at the top. The tail's at the bottom. Looks very blue. I am Omne. So these are so big, it's can't even shuffle them really, but I'm sure it looks like she's got wings. The Dragon of Cosmic Mists. See, this is why I love dragons, because dragons just can, because they're elemental, they're just part of everything. That's a nice spiral dragon. Cosmic Serpent, it says. The Moon Sky Dragon. And then she has these sayings on the back. So let's see what it says. I am the Moon Sky Dragon. I have the freedom of flight through all the skies. When the moon is dark, I can devour your darkest nightmares or reflect back to you your greatest fears. When the moon is full, I can add a sparkle to your brightest dreams, your future hopes. I sail through the skies on stormy nights, swirling with the winds, dancing with the darkness, cleansing the debris of the day. On bright, star-filled nights, I fill the sky with crystal clarity and let you sense how brightly you shine, sparkling like a star. I mean, isn't that just, and every one of these has a different little poem or poetry that goes with it, but it's all giving you a message. Oh, that's cool. Heart in the spiral. Anyway, so I have these cards, and I would tell you the name of them, but I don't even know the name of them. I thought there was something, but I don't see it that would tell me what the name of them are. I thought it had like a little pamphlet that went with it. I don't know. Anyway, so then my other two cards are Sacred Geometry of Relationships and You Are Magic, which I love telling everyone that you are magic. 40 mind-blowing quote cards. Now, if I remember right, I'm not convinced that these You Are Magic cards were my favorite. Seems like they had some decent quotes in them, but they also seem like really off the wall quotes too. Own your magic, walk in your purpose, and rock your truth. I like that. So we have the option to use those if we want. So I'm going to put that to the side. And then I want to look at these relationship oracle cards. Like, I remember looking at the relationship ones once. I remember looking at the affirmation deck here. Was it You Are Magic once? And I haven't really worked with them to any great degree, which means I just don't have my energy built up around them. And so it'll be where it's going to be a wild ride seeing of how well these work here with us today. But heck, you never know. It might just be Christina and me. Oh, Mariella's here. Hey, Mariella, what are you doing here? What are you doing here, Mariella? Oh, whoa. And there goes half the cards. The original. I know. I was trying to find that. I'm not sure what it is. I thought it had a little brochure with it that would tell me what that is, but I'm not seeing it. Did I mention my office and its messiness? Let's see. Yeah. I remember that when I got these, like, I remember that there was something on here. Like, the way she printed these, it doesn't have any information on them. I remember it was a woman out of England, and that's all I can remember. I know I've got some other decks at the office, in my office, and I wonder if I took all the little booklets there that has the information about these. Because I don't have it in this deck. Or it's not in the little handmade holder, which is a shame. She really needs to put her information on these cards. I loved using them. I mean, I love these cards because they're so They're so unique, but they're just everyone has a different piece of artwork. That one looks like it's upside down, doesn't it? So anyway, I can get it to you for you, Christina, though. I wish it would say, because I do want to give her credit. I'm still looking around going, boy, I thought I had the book, but it must be at the office with the other ones. All right. So let's see what we're going to come up with here. Christina, do you have a preference on what deck we use for you? We have the Dragon, the Sacred Geometry Relationships, or the Your Magic. Let me know what your preference is. Mariella, you too. Let me know what deck, if you have a preference. And I will pull from whatever one you guys want. And, since it was just not that many on tonight, again, I think everyone's out of town. We will just make it up and work with more than one if we have to. And Christina says, I get a pick. Ooh, decisions. The weight. I want to go with dragon one. I know me. I just am a dragon person. So I am going to try to shuffle these. All right. So these are for Christina. I won't have to shuffle them too much, but I do want to shuffle them a little bit. They're so big. We had a lot of fun at teaching the tarot basics last Thursday. That was a really great class. I had quite a few people there too. It's always more fun. Well, it's not always more fun. All right, card for Christina. All right, I actually got two. All right, so this one, I'm loving this because it's got like this spiral thing going on. And also it's almost there's almost like a spider web vibe to it. And for me, for you, Christina, it really feels like you have gone within to get out, which I love for you. Like, it seems like every week your cards are getting to be more like you're on the right path, that you're doing the work, you're getting into that next stage. This to me feels like you've gone inside and looked at internally to all the things that you had to look at, but you're, applying it to the outside, and you're breaking free of the web. The web, can be our global consciousness, because we tend to be very hypnotized by our reality, when we can really kind of sometimes break free of that. And I feel like that's what this card is about, is that you're beginning to realize and see how you can break free of that limited way of being. I don't feel like that one's for you. I'm going to take another. Oh, you know what? They're telling me to grab one over here. So in the relationships deck, you got originality, which I love for you. And the 3-1 is the number 31. That turns numerology. That's a 4. 3 + 1 = 4. 4 is very much a foundational number, which is like, I feel like you're grounding into your next phase. And for me, this feels very fertile. Look at that green. It's almost like an egg. Eggs being about potentials, green, the fertility, developing and growing into that next stage. Originality. The frequency of originality supports our capacity to be unique and original creators of unlimited possibilities in every moment. So yeah, they even talk about being creators in this card. And that's what this feels like to me, is the creation aspect for you. Creating the next step, creating, really what we're doing in every moment is creating our life. Every time we make a decision, we're creating the next step, we're creating that moment. And that's a beautiful place to be. I was listening to something earlier today, and we tend to always look and worry about the next thing, the next, thinking about where we want to be compared to where we are. But have we really managed to find peace with where we are at? Because when you are wanting to create things for yourself, you have to find peace with where you are at. Everything is of the moment. And if you are uneasy with what is being shown to you in this moment, then there is a lesson in that you need to look at your uneasiness of this moment. What is it that you have to let go to or surrender to find peace? And yeah, so Christine is saying that there's a lot of creative energy circulating this week. It's been a very powerful week. I mean, I've got so many people telling me all these strange things that are happening with the resonance. I know that feel more tired just energetically from the increase that's flooding in. And when you are in that creative flow, creativity flows when you are not in resistance, and creativity being the creation of your next piece of life, where you are going, that flows when you're not in resistance. And if you can drop resistance, you're flowing with things instead of being the rock in the river, the water in the river being creation. If you are in resistance, you're not flowing. You are the rock and you're stuck there and everything's flowing by you. Yeah. Melissa. Hi, Melissa. She said, I can second that, being we're tired lately. Yeah, this week has just been, it's been challenging, but that's okay. I mean, I really work really hard and not being in resistance to these things and being in the flow of it and just, observing it and, having some grapefruit juice as you are observing it. All right. Mariella. Yeah, you're so welcome, Christina. You're so welcome. Mariella says she wants to go with the dragon deck. Good choice. I do love this deck. It's just so hard to work with in that it is so big. All right. Dragons for Mariella. Let's see what we can come up with. Ooh. And even though they're tough to shuffle, one fell out for you, Mariella. Let's see if there's one more that wants to come. All right. 15. This is a really cool one. Look at that, Mariella. It's almost like a raven dragon, again, with that spider webby thing going on. So, I haven't worked with these cards in a long time, but it kind of serves me. She does a lot with the cosmos. And there is this concept of the cosmos web, that everything's interconnected. And for me, for you, I just want to feel into this for a second. So this is for Mariella. So I'm just looking because Mariella made a comment. I'm staying at Raven Point. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, wherever you are going, you're okay. That's interesting, right? Yeah, it does. It looks like very much like a raven. So what I'm getting for this is, notice how this dragon it's got this really big orb up here. And his mouth isn't even, which is strange for a dragon, isn't big enough to even like swallow it all. And for you, Mariella, I am feeling like that's kind of what you're doing. Like you're trying to eat the whole meal in one swallow. That there's a pace and a timing to things, and you are it's like the meal looks so good. You want to eat it all at once. You're like, I just want to, one big bite. And I just get this, take smaller bites, take it slower, get out of being caught in the web of needing to know the answer before it's revealed. And so the second card that I pulled for you is this one, because what I love about this one is, doesn't this one just feel so protective and so patient and supportive? And that's what you have. Like, you have this very strong, powerful, supportive dragon energy that is wanting to assist you, but you're so distracted with trying this big orb that the piece of what's being offered to you is being distracted from you. Like, you can't even see, when your mouth is so wide open and you're trying to take a bite, and you can't see what's in front of you. And I feel like we have to step back from trying to take this big bite out of the obvious thing that's in front of you, so that you can resonate with this other energy of this dragon, because this dragon is just so peaceful. I love her face. It's almost, patience of, like, come on, it's okay. It's okay. That really actually reminds me of a Kuan Yin compassion of just, you humans, it's just time for you to take a breath. And I love the star. The star is really drawing my attention here in the center. And, the star is what kind of led, when they have the story of the three wise men with Jesus Christ, whether it's true or not, who knows. But to me, what's resonating is that the star can lead you. Like, if you focus on the objective of how you want to feel, instead of so strangulated by what you are feeling in this moment. What does Abraham Hicks say? They say, we put all of our time and attention on what is instead of what we want. And what is doesn't really matter, because our goal is to get out of what is. But the more you resonate with what is, the harder it is to get out of it. So I get that, just get your mind off of what is, vibe into this energy, because these two energies feel completely different. I love both of these dragons, but this one, the raven one, feels like he's trying too hard. He's trying to take too big of a bite. And this energy it's so much more flowing. It's so much more in the moment. So there. That was for Mariella. You'll have to tell me, Mariella, what you think about that. All right. Who else was next here? Melissa, I believe, was. Yeah, Melissa. I feel that. I feel that too. I'm trying really hard to be in the flow of that and having a drink. All right. Melissa, I'm getting to you. I just wanted to say thank you, Christina, for saying thank you. And I think Marielle, I think we may have lost. Oh, nope, there she is still. You're welcome, Mariella. All right. Melissa says she's never heard of a dragon deck. Oh, there's several. I usually have a different dragon deck, but I left it at my other office, and so we aren't using it. So I'm using this one, which is much bulkier, but it's very unique. Like, it is the artist. It's a self-published deck, and I would share the information, but I don't even have the information on it. I'll have to get it. I'll try to remember to show it next week. All right. Melissa. Let's do Melissa. I'm just tuning in for a moment to Melissa so we can get a card for Melissa. They're so big and they're so new. I do not want to shuffle. Melissa. Oh, this is really pretty. And it says, "The Song and Dance of the Dragon." And I'm just looking at the back here. This is just a gorgeous, gorgeous card. So it says, "Come and join me. I am Yumi in the song and dance of the dragons. The song is yours to sing, and you will remember all the steps and skills gathered from before. Take a deep breath, and off we go. How deep can you go? How high can you fly? Can you feel the web? Can you hold the light? Can you send love to the universal heart? We are one. Harmonize, harmonize, harmony. Can you fly on angel wings? On backs of dragons dive, dance with the devas, sing with the cosmic spheres, swim in oceans deep, stand in peace as a tree, see the starry sky open to you. You can? So then, ring on the web, shine in the sun, sparkle in the moonlight. Oh, how we are one." And it really does feel like this celebration. And that's what I'm feeling for you, some kind of celebration, Melissa. This is a celebration of you, a celebration of you remembering you, because what we are all here to do is to kind of reconnect to our true self and let that light shine through us. And there's a real celebration here for you going on. I'm not sure what it's in reference to, but I do get this celebratory vibe for you of the singing and the recognition of self. So I don't know what work you're doing with yourself, but it seems to be quite beautiful. The knowingness of your own worth is what I'm hearing. The knowingness of your own worth. Yeah, that is just really, really, really cool. I'm going to grab also one of these other relationship cards. So I got sensuality for you. And 36, that's the numerology, is 9. 3 plus 6 equaling 9. 9 is about completion. Sensuality, we seem to be raised in a society where they think sensuality is very closely associated with sex, and it's not necessarily so. Sensuality is like I can get the sensuality of drinking in a glass versus a plastic cup, really enjoying something of the moment. That can be very sensual, just enjoying life. Remember how I was talking of the moment and enjoying whatever is being presented to you in the moment can be a very sensual experience. It's about really kind of wallowing in our senses, all of our senses, and appreciating whatever is there. And this says the frequency of sensuality reminds us that as spirits in human bodies, we are sensual beings, experiencing joy and pleasure from the physical world through our senses. So I feel like there's something along with that is tied into this one about enjoying being in the physical world and enjoying utilizing all your senses. Because that's one of the reasons we came into being in a human form is, when we don't have a human form, we are energy, light, vibration, and we don't have these sensual senses to enjoy when we are in that stage. So this is our time to enjoy that. So I feel like that as you connect with your own true self, they're like encouraging you to really tap into all those senses and enjoy them while you can, because while we don't die, we lose this body maybe, but we move on and we're still real, we're still living, we're still existing, we're still learning, we're still having experiences throughout our soul. But the sensualness of the human is unique, and I just get this, enjoy it, enjoy that. I've been trying to work on that. Great. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, there's just so many things to truly take a moment, enjoy. Like today was crazy rain. I don't know if you're here in, Cary, Raleigh, North Carolina, but um my gosh, the downpour of rain today, right? It was just insane. I mean, who wouldn't want to look up and just feel the rain on their face and be in that moment? Yesterday it was 90 degrees and hot and muggy, and now it's downpour raining with thunderstorms. I mean, completely two different vibes and feel around those, and to appreciate them for their how different they can be. And yeah, one's yesterday, one's today, right? So yeah, enjoy that. Enjoy it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure she is. I am sure she is. She's like, "Go and live your life." She's like, she's living on. She doesn't want to see you not living on. I actually saw a really interesting cartoon. Well, it was drawn like a cartoon. Kind of had a side message. And I don't even remember where I saw it. But it was about grief, and it was showing how somebody was buried underground, representing that somebody had passed, and then somebody grieving above them on top of the ground, but their head was actually buried in the ground with the person who had passed. And it's like this person that's living has buried themselves only from the neck up into the ground because the loved one is in the ground, but they've moved on. Like they aren't buried in the ground. That physical being is nothing. It's something we can shed easily, and it is about our spirit living on. And I know that your daughter wants that for you too, to move on. And it's not about forgetting her. You'll never forget her. You'll absolutely always love her. But she doesn't want you to freeze in time and not enjoy the rest of your life too. You're here. There's a reason that you're here. And when grief is an interesting thing, and this was actually a whole nother conversation I heard from a channeler, and they were talking about how when you have healed from grief, your ability to heal others is going to be profound. And it's not even something that you have to do or think that you have to help someone. It's that your energy field is going to have the codes of that healing within your energetic bodies. And anytime that you get around somebody else that is going through the grief process, also, when you and someone else like that is also in that situation, and your energetic bodies can overlap or just be clear, near one another, they actually will pick up your codes, and that way you are assisting them. And it's not something you don't even have to have a conversation. We share so much information energetically, and your healing is going to help others to heal without you really having to overtly do anything. You're not going to maybe have to do conversations with them. Although I know plenty of authors who have, written books. I have somebody who did a book signing at the store. He wrote a book. I don't know if I gave that book to you or someone else. But his son committed suicide. And he, years later learned to tap into him and channel his son and get messages from him. Now, that was a many-year process because they just kept going to different psychics trying to get information. And through that process, they also were enhancing their gifts. And as they enhanced their gift, they built his communication to the point where he wrote several books. I know it was at least more than one about the communication he had with his son after he passed. And it's so profound for him because it really truly allowed him to heal and to celebrate his son, even though it was profoundly grief-stricken when it happened and confused. The healing process, when it was complete, he celebrates that now. All right. She gave me a link to the book. Okay. Yeah. Don't worry. I mean, the message is there. Just accept the message. Yeah. And I think also that she's always with you too. It's sometimes we try so hard though to connect that we almost block it. Like, I feel like you do get a lot of messages and you question it. Like you are concerned about the truth of what you're feeling or seeing or perceiving. And they're just saying, accept it. Just accept it. You don't have to question it. That questioning brain gets in the way and it blocks us from truly receiving the message. And it makes us doubt the message. And the doubt is insidious. It does nothing. It does not serve us at all and in any way. So good. Well, thank you. Thank you, Melissa. All right, Marilyn. I saw Marilyn here. So let me just trying to catch up with all the messages here. Melissa was saying, Oliver, was that when I was talking about the cards? All my lights in my house are flickering right now. How funny. See, that sounds like a pretty strong message, right? Uh, okay. So I do see a Marilyn here. And so we can do a drawing for Marilyn. She's saying, what do we need to do? I just need to find your message. Just need to find your message and we'll get you some card drawing. I'm just kind of making stuff up. I'm not using my normal deck. I scurried through my house looking for some cards and I found 3 different decks and they're working pretty well. I like them. I do love this dragon deck. It's not set up like an original tarot deck. But the artwork is just so beautiful. Okay, Marilyn, I'm yawning. So yawning for me is energy clearing. Oh, excuse me. So there's something around you that needs to be cleared, or you're ready to your spirit is ready for it to be cleared. I don't know what is going on. I'm just going to be yawning here for a couple minutes. I'm need a drink. So I'm curious, Marilyn, how open you are to receiving messages from the other side. I almost feels like if we considered that a door, it's like it's overloaded or something. Welcome back, Marilyn. I was just starting on yours. I pulled a couple cards, but then I started yawning. When I yawn, it just means that I'm clearing energy for somebody. Because as soon as I tap into someone's energy, my higher self and your higher self are working together according to your higher self. Like I don't determine what needs to happen or not happen. I leave it up to our spiritual teams to figure that out. But I'm yawning a lot, and that is a symptom that they are working with your spiritual team. Oh, excuse me. And I was just asking how susceptible you are to this communication with those that are not in physical form. Because it's almost like there is a doorway and the doorway is overcrowded and I don't know why. Like I don't know if it's because they're not moving through it, if you're not unsure about what to do with the messages or how to get these entities to continue moving, or if you don't want to maybe even connect with the entities. I'm not sure. I'm not making any judgment on that. It just feels like everything's blocked up. So I'm curious what's going on. When I pull a card for you, what am I getting here? I'm still yawning. Oh, excuse me. I get the blue dragon. Whoops. How do we go this way? Is that upside down? It's so hard to tell with some of these which way they go. Dragons are not limited by what is up or down. I think that's the right side up. This is the void. I am the blue dragon. I whirl around the edge, the rim of the void, around the circumference. I'm auditorially dyslexic, so I have a hard time pronouncing words. Yeah. I am the first formed from the velvet womb. In me swirl the sparkles of potential, gathering momentum, glittering in my body. I carry the sparks of the divine, the seeds of creation from which all has come and of which all is. I'm looking for that original sparkle in you, and when I find it, I will reignite it, and all illusion will be blown away, and you will become yourself again, an original sparkle of the Creator. Yeah, it does. Well, that's interesting, Marilyn, that you yawn a lot too. So you need to pay attention to when you're yawning. Like I said, I only usually yawn. I mean, maybe if I'm tired, but like in a circumstance like this, or when I'm doing sessions, if someone walks in and all of a sudden I'm yawning a lot, I know that I'm moving their energy. Like I will be completely fine. And then somebody walks into near me, or I start working with them and I start this yawning, and I usually my eyes water, my nose starts to run. I'm still yawning on you. Which just it's to me just means that there is some energy that needs to be released here. So if you're ready and willing to have that released, there isn't anything you need to do other than give permission. And so, Marilyn, I'm going to ask you if you're ready to release this, because we can get rid. Definitely a door. I've always said this. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You've got a big door. There's a big wide door open with you. And what it feels like is it like everybody is trying to get through this door. And like I said, I'm not sure if you're unsure what to do with them, or you do something, but then it doesn't keep moving, because the doorway is like jammed full and it needs to be cleared. The whole doorway needs to be just okay. All right. Oh, I'm so sorry. All right, Marilyn. Marilyn, I just need permission from you, because I don't want to proceed in setting intention for you to release something, because everything has to happen through your intention. I hold space for it. My team helps your team, but I don't assume that this is what you want. But I do get the sense that this needs to be cleared out, and I can help with that if that is something that you are wanting to have. And when I work with my team, like they don't suggest things be shifted unless they're good for you. Is she that strong? She's blocking me. Well, I'm not sure if you think it's just one being. There's more going on than just one being here. What it feels like to me is being, when you're psychically open, it's definitely a gift, but it can be challenging because we're never taught what to do when you're psychically open. And there's some people who are just naturally open. It's like the door is wide open, and it can be scary for those who, especially if they're raised in a family that doesn't know what to make of that. And because your door is so wide open, I would suggest, and again, I don't know how much you know about this. So if I'm telling you something you already know, I'm sorry. But these beings that are coming through this doorway, or attempting to come through the doorway, I don't feel like it's being blocked by any one being. It just feels like there's so many beings that it's like a traffic jam in the doorway. And Some of them are getting your attention in the doorway, but not all of them are getting your attention, maybe. And the reality is we just need to get these guys to the light. They're just confused. It can be confusing for some who don't know where to go and what to do next. And we just need to ask them to go to the light. Sometimes people die and they just want to get a message. And, they see somebody who has a door open and they're attracted to that person because they're trying to get a message to the people who are still incarnate, which would make sense with Melissa and her daughter because Melissa's still here. But like I said, there's more than just Melissa's daughter going on here. This is like I said, it feels like you have this doorway. There's a lot of beings that have maybe been trying to get your attention. Maybe you've been aware of that. Maybe you haven't. Okay, it's feeling better. But when you get the awareness that you have somebody in that doorway, one, I want you to realize you can have hours. Like you have to think of it almost like a therapy office, like, creating boundaries around the beings that may want your attention. And you can say, this is because I've had people who, they get inundated with beings that want to have conversation or talk to them because they see that light. And I'm like, you got to be clear about when you want to talk to them and when you don't want to talk to them. And for instance, my friend, she was like, they follow me in the bathroom. And I'm like, then the bathroom needs to be off limits and you need to set that boundary. When I have my office where I work with one-on-one, I use my sacred space spray. I spray my room and I set the intention that only that which is approved by my client's higher self may enter that room. So I spray my spray, I call in my spiritual team, and then I get rid of anything that's in that room. And you can do the same thing with a spray or just your intention or smudging, but I feel like you really need some smudging or some sacred space spray. You need to create a relationship about when you do want to work with these beings and when you don't. And when you do work with them, you need to be working on getting them towards the light and integrating them, getting them to move through, but to keep them moving. Because right now it doesn't feel like they're moving. They're like attracted to your light and they are in that doorway, all stuck, wanting to talk to you. Have permission. Jalen around Melissa's daughter, keep her. Well, I never like I said, it's not up to me. I'm going to leave this up to the teams. I'm just going to combine my energy with my higher self to your higher self and ask that the most appropriate thing happen. Now, what I will share for you is that keeping Jalen around could be good, could not, maybe not be good. And here's why, is that she needs to move on to the light. And that is just the next level of healing for her. So we don't want to keep that from her. She needs that next level of healing. That doesn't mean that she can't, communicate with her mom or you after she's healed, but the healing is paramount. We all need to have that healing. So I'm just going to give permission here. All right. So this is something new for everybody. They're asking me to do light language. This is something I do a lot in sessions, and it just will help the energy move. So Marilyn, I just want you to stay in that energy of any guidance spirit wants you to know as I do this light language. And the light language is working energetically to shift this energy and clear this doorway. Although it's feeling better, I'm not yawning nearly as much. And here comes another yawn. All right. Alamoho maha kia kia na mokosiki hia. He a na mokosi ikiana mo ama he kia no mo ame e ane ke he a ia ngono mokoha. E kisiha na mokoho maka la pakasiki hi inima no mokoho. Ona nene manana no kasiki al na ma no moha. Alekehia, Kesikino no ma, Mamehea Neoma, Nonakisikihi, Ono a eke e anamaka, He anamakoho, Ho no mokasikihi, He ne me no makaha. They're asking me to use this sacred spray, and as I'm using it on me, it's the energy of this is transferring to you and around you, clearing that energy, clearing that doorway, asking in all beings ready to go to the light. Notice the light. It's there to guide you, direct you, assist you. There is a path, a healing path for you. Follow the light. All will be well. Within that light, you'll feel the loving presence of those who are there waiting for you, wanting to assist you, to guide you. All right. You'll have to let me know how that was for you, Marilyn, what you felt through that process. So and this clearing it's going to continue going. Like as much as I did all that right now, the energy with our teams and what they've done is going to keep working. They keep working. The spiritual teams, the dragons, they keep at it. Even after I go off and I'm not talking to you, they're going to keep working on this energetically. They're saying give it 3 days. So yeah, good. All right. Still yawning. Oh my goodness. Oh. Rita, any guidance spirit wants me to know? Well, let's find out. I'm going to haven't used these cards. I'm going to pull. Oh. Yeah, they're still working. Like I said, they're going to be working on you for a while. All right. I pulled 2 cards for you for some reason, Frida. And the first one is anyone can fly. All you need is somewhere to go that you can't get to any other way. The next thing you know, you're flying among the stars. Does that make sense to you? Like sometimes we have to be blocked and do something out of the ordinary to get to the next level. And I'm also going to pull one from over here for you. And I got the 4th chakra for you. Energy of the heart chakra supports our inner guidance system, which is governed by our heart and the capacity to love deeply. Yeah, I get this energy in your heart is very big and powerful. And yet somehow you've made it small. And, I don't want you to feel guilty about making it small. Sometimes we make things small because of old wounds, old trauma. And it's like this beautiful green flower wants to come out blooming and experienced in your life. But I just get this, like it's being kept small and contained and restrained from really embracing into that powerful big flower that it can be. And I get that it's like you have to learn how to fly. You have to release. You have to let go of old preconceived notions or the programming that we grow up with so that you can fly and let this beautiful heart free to bloom to its biggest. Yeah. And that's so common. I know. We've been all hurt so much in our heart. But look at this beautiful heart. I mean, this is your heart. And it could be this beautiful green, expansive flower. And The fear keeps it small. And so I'd encourage you to try to do something, break free out of the fear. Anyone can fly. We just have to be brave sometimes. We just have to be brave. And if you're ready to let go of the trauma, it's just give it to the dragons. I guess I do have my other. So the dragons, I'll just grab a couple of these. The dragons had me create these sprays around emotions. So the ones that I grabbed, one is guilt, one is around fear. And it's called Dragon Attunement. And when you feel the fear or the guilt, because these are the two that I grabbed, there's more emotions back there. Just shake this, spray it around you, and then breathe in love, and then exhale the emotion that you're wanting to release. And imagine that you're releasing it into a balloon. And do that 7 times. So you're breathing in love and exhaling the emotion you want to let go of, and put it in that balloon. And on the 7th one, you can release the balloon and all that emotion to the dragons, and they'll take care of it. Just let it go. You just have to set the intention to let it go and to release it. So you can do that. These are so powerful because the aromatherapy, what that does, just like I use the sacred space aromatherapy, the essential oils in those actually affect your energy field. And I always think of it as scrubbing bubbles. You spray it into your energy field. Your energy field is like it has currents like wind or water, right? So you spray it into your energy field, and that it gets pulled around into all different parts of your energy field through all your chakras, and then it can realign your energetic system according to the essential oils that are in there that are specific to that emotion. So now when you're working with these, you're working not only with the aromatherapy, you're setting your intention, you're staying focused, you're giving the intention to let it go, and you give it to the dragons, and then you can move forward. It also makes you stay in the moment, because so often we're in the past or the future, which is where the anxiety resides. Being in this moment, it's perfect here right now. And that's what these help you do also. So yeah. It's time to rely on ourselves. It's time to love ourselves so much that other people are a blessing. Other people are beautiful. I love working with people, but you have to learn to love yourself first, so much, so unconditionally first. And going back to Marilyn, 3 days. She said, I so appreciate you too. Thank you for being here. I feel abundance. Good. All right. And Frida, love yourself. There's the best message of the night is just love yourself. Love yourself unconditionally. Don't feel like you have to give up pieces of yourself to please others. We are so trained to do that in our society. It's about loving you, about taking care of you. And when you truly do that, and everyone else does that, we're going to get along just great. Like, we're not going to feel like we have to change somebody else. If we truly love ourselves and they love themselves, nobody has to change. We're happy to have everyone express their uniqueness for them. Okay. All right. I thought I saw a question. Somebody asked if they could ask a question, and I don't know where that comment went. But yes, you can ask a question. And Anika, what is your question? Type it into the comments and we will see if we can answer it. I don't know. I'm always happy to try. Let's see if Anika wants to make a comment. I'm dripping all over the place here. Did you guys enjoy the thunderstorms as much as I did today? Tanya. Hey, Tanya, you made it. All right. I was waiting because somebody said they wanted to ask a question. I'm kind of waiting for that message to come through. But since I'm waiting on that, maybe I will pull a card for Tanya. I love thunderstorms. Let's get a card for Tanya. I was just telling them that I don't have my regular tarot card deck here tonight because I had taken it into the office for the group event on Thursday, and I forgot to bring them to my home office where I do this. So I was like looking around everywhere in my house looking for card decks that I could use for tonight. So I don't use the decks that I have here very often, although it's really been fun to use these tonight. I have this other tarot, or excuse me, they're not tarot. And but they're dragon cards. And I would tell you the name of them, but I don't have even the information. They don't come in a traditional box. They were self-published. So I don't even have the information on who they are. But I'm going to pull you one of these and we'll read it and see what it says. Oh, I love that you've been practicing. I just clicked on a star. I don't even know what that means if I click on the star. That's funny. I'm learning something all the time. I pulled, no, that's not. Ooh, this is so pretty. Look at that. I should have Tanya read this card because in the class we were talking about different colors and all the things that can be represented in a deck. This is really pretty. I am Kumara, the guardian of the Gaia Intergalactic Temple. My goodness. I have a light dragon form, which I can change into simply light. I am an intergalactic being. I have no age. I am eternal. It is Earth's desire to reopen this ancient site and to realign with the cosmic dance that was severed long ago. The temple is now active. The wormhole is open, the stargate in place, and the connections are made. This temple is a beacon for the new Earth. From here flow great possibilities for the growth and health of Gaia, and for you too. And I really do get, like, you see this flow that's coming up behind this dragon. It's like that's what was really drawing my attention in this picture is this energy that's flowing through. And I've heard this is like the dragons kind of went underground and stayed not active for a long time. And now as we're moving into this new age, this new time, they are all awakening, all coming into much more into our reality, much more into our energy and assisting us so much more. Yeah, this is real. Oh, I love that. Outburst of energy, right? It's like there's here's what I'm feeling with her. It's like there's so much strength and power, and yet she's so delicate. Like that dichotomy of both being strong and delicate and almost wispy. I love the colors. I feel like that's so true with you too. You are so radiant and have those outbursts of energy. I love that card for you. Love that card. Oh, isn't this deck just amazing? I'm going to have to use this deck more often. All right. Thanks, Tanya. I'm so glad you can make it tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whoops, I clicked the wrong one. She says me too. That was what I used to say, especially as a kid. Growing up, my mom always used to make fun of me because I'd always say, me too, me too, me too, me too. That's awesome. All right, Annika. How come my messages are not coming through? Well, that is a big question, Annika. Sometimes we put too much importance on something and it will block things. So it's not like the message isn't there for you. It's that the level of importance that we prescribe to receiving that message or wanting that message or wanting to be that conduit can put the block in. And it's also really common too, I've discovered, is that sometimes the things that we want the most are almost like because we knew we had it at one time, but then maybe in a lifetime, for whatever reason, we may have taken a vow that um, we blocked it ourselves. And, as an example, um, I'm going to use the example of, like, I had a client one time, and this doesn't really have anything to do with energy, but it shows the importance of vows that we can take. In this lifetime, she never had any children, but she really wanted to have children. And she couldn't understand why she was never, allowed to have children in this lifetime. And when we did a past life regression, we found out that in a past life, she had been, her mom had died young, and she was the oldest of like 10 kids or something. And so, as it's the oldest sibling, she became in charge of all these children, and she raised these children, all 10 of them, but they were all her siblings. They weren't her children. But after raising all of her siblings, she really kind of made this vow to herself, and we do this all the time. She said to herself, I never want to have children. I'm done taking care of children. I don't want to do that anymore. And when she took that vow, and we, again, like I said, we do this all the time, and we don't realize that when we make those kind of statements, we're not only saying it for this lifetime, it's a vow that sticks into our soul. And we have to make sure we're careful with our words. We have to be aware of our words. And so she was too old to have children actually in this lifetime by that time, but we did do a disavowal. Like we said, that's not something that she wanted to retain any longer, and she wanted to let that go. So just, when I have something that I feel that's blocking me, I'll just ask. It's almost like I retreat and stay calm and just ask for things to be shown to me, or emotions. And sometimes they can just flow through you, and just ask them to be released. And that sometimes is the greatest way to shift that energy. And very similar to using the dragon attunement spray that I have. It's the same concept. Like you're setting this intention of getting past that block or letting it go. So those are some ideas without knowing much more about you. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for everyone. I'm so glad that we could spend this time together. It was a great night, and I will see you next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, Tarot Tuesday at 6 p.m. And many blessings. Namaste. Oh, I see. And I'm sorry. I want to just see what Annika. Oh, now it is. I'm talking about it in the chat, but that does help. I was going to ask a question to you. So, yeah. Yeah. No, just be with it and just set the intention to release it. Give it to the dragons. Give it to, especially, I want to say fire dragon, but they're telling me a water dragon. Give it to the water dragon. Yeah. All right. Good night, everyone. Namaste.